More than 6 million people have signed a petition demanding Argentina be kicked out of the World Cup. 6 million. There are entire countries smaller than the number of people who now genuinely believe the defending champions are being gift-wrapped this tournament by FIFA itself. They've even got a name for it, Vargentina. And with Lionel Messi now 90 minutes from another final, the accusation has hit absolute fever pitch. So how on earth did we get here? To a place where half the internet thinks a World Cup is fixed? Let's lay every piece of it out one by one. And then let's be honest about what it actually adds up to. First, understand the sheer scale of this thing, because it is not some fringe corner of the internet. Memes calling Messi FIFA's princess have racked up hundreds of thousands of likes. AI-generated images of Messi cozying up to FIFA President Gianni Infantino have gone viral, one accusing Infantino of grinning because he has successfully taken out all of Messi's competition. The hashtags #VArgentina and #ArgenFIFA have spread across X, TikTok, and Instagram, with English fans in particular pushing an England versus the system narrative. This is a genuine global phenomenon, and it has been building brick by brick for weeks. And the data on the conversation itself is fascinating. Analysts found that United Kingdom-based users drove around a fifth of all the #ArgenFIFA chatter, and that the Generation Z bracket, roughly 20 to 29 years old, accounted for nearly half of it, endlessly clipping and resharing VAR replays as supposed proof. Barely 7% of the posts defended Argentina at all. There is even a whole sub-theory floating around that FIFA is secretly propping Messi up to protect his greatest of all-time crown against the rise of Spain's teenage sensation Lamine Yamal, keeping the old king on his throne one final year. Whether you buy any of it or not, the sheer momentum is undeniable, and it has real weight behind it. So let's stack those bricks up. It started in the group stage against Algeria, when Messi planted his studs on the calf of captain Issa Mandi. Plenty of analysts said it was a clear red card. Messi stayed on the pitch and then went and scored a hat-trick. Algeria filed a formal complaint. Then came the one that lit the fuse, the round of 16 clash with Egypt. Egypt scored a goal in the second half, only for VAR to rewind and disallow it for a foul in the build-up. Egypt then had penalty appeals waved away, and Argentina, 2 goals down and staring at elimination, roared back to win 3-2 in the final 14 minutes. Egypt's coach Hossam Hassan was scathing, saying his team suffered an injustice and suggesting darkly that perhaps they wanted Messi to stay in the running. The Egyptian Federation declared it cannot remain silent, and the saga got stranger still. Argentina's own federation later said it was investigating a hack of its systems after mass emails went out to reporters demanding justice for Egypt. One of them insisting the robbery will not go unnoticed, and claiming Argentina had won on corrupt calls. Worth remembering, too, that Messi actually missed a penalty in that very game, which rather complicates the idea he was being handed everything. Next, the quarterfinal against Switzerland, where Breel Embolo was sent off for a dive via a brand new VAR protocol, leaving the Swiss with 10 men. Their coach Murat Yakin called the rule unacceptable. 3 rounds, 3 furious opponents, 3 decisions that all happened to break Argentina's way. And then, as if scripted, came the semi-final appointment. FIFA handed the England game to American referee Ismail El Fath, a man some outlets openly call Messi's favorite referee because Messi had never once lost a match El Fath was involved in. To a public already primed to see a conspiracy, dropping that particular official into that particular game was like tossing a match onto a puddle of petrol. But the case does not stop at refereeing, and this is where it broadens. Look at Argentina's road to the semifinals. Before they ran into England, they had not faced a single team ranked higher than 19th in the world. A gentle procession through Algeria, Jordan, Austria, Cape Verde, Egypt, and Switzerland, made possible in part by FIFA's new seeding system that conveniently keeps the biggest teams apart until late. Then Infantino himself handed the conspiracy theorists a gift, admitting on camera after Argentina's nervy win over Cape Verde that he had felt anxious about the champions possibly going out. The president of world football, openly confessing he was rooting for one team not to lose. You cannot write this stuff. And here's the part that genuinely gives the theory teeth, because it isn't only vibes. Researchers at Northeastern University actually measured how often VAR decisions went for or against each team, per 100 fouls, through the round of 16. And Argentina came out as one of the two most favored sides in the entire tournament, with a favorable rate of 6.7. So the numbers do back the perception up, sort of. Because here's the twist that nobody screaming rigged wants to sit with. The single most favored team in that whole dataset wasn't Argentina at all. It was Mexico at 7.8. And strangely, there is no 6 million signature petition to expel Mexico, no Mexi FIFA memes, no global outrage, which tells you a great deal about how much of this is cold data and how much is a story people had already decided to believe. And even that favorable number comes with a health warning, because a rate of overturns per 100 fouls doesn't prove anyone's thumb was on the scale. A team that fouls less or plays in a way that draws more borderline reviews will naturally rack up a higher favorable count without a single shady decision. Numbers can fuel a narrative, but on their own, they don't prove one. So now let's take it seriously, because the easy version of this is a genuinely fun lie, and I won't sell you a lie. Go through those refereeing calls one at a time, and most of them are, frustratingly, defensible. Christina Unkel, a former FIFA referee analyzing the whole tournament, said plainly that nothing in the Algeria or Egypt games actually stood out to her as poor officiating. Embolo genuinely did dive. The Egypt foul was, by the letter of the law, a foul. FIFA's refereeing chief Pierluigi Collina insists every decision was consistent with the rules. On the easy path, that argument collapsed the moment Argentina had to beat England, the fourth-ranked team on the planet, to reach the final. And for the record, this is the first time in history all four of the highest-ranked teams reached the semis together. So the best sides genuinely rose to the top. And on the biggest claim of all, that this is an actual fix, there is a mountain of suspicion and not 1 gram of proof. As Colombian journalist Mario Aragochis put it, I don't reject the idea that a degree of corruption exists in football, but that is a universe away from evidence of a plot to hand Argentina a trophy. So if the individual calls hold up, why does practically the entire world still believe the worst? The answer is simple, and it's devastating for FIFA. They did this to themselves. This is the same governing body that suspended a red card this tournament after a phone call from Donald Trump, an episode so brazen that former President Sepp Blatter branded the modern organization a dictatorship, and an Irish member of the European Parliament called it profoundly corrupt. That one is worth pausing on, because it's the moment FIFA proved, in black and white, that it will move the goalposts when the right person picks up the phone. United States striker Folarin Balogun had his ban lifted after Trump, whose country was co-hosting the tournament, called Infantino directly. Once fans watched FIFA bend for a president, why on earth would they trust it not to bend for its favorite team? This is also the same FIFA now shadowed by a FBI and Department of Justice investigation into the Argentine Federation's finances. Hundreds of millions of dollars moving through the United States system. A probe that, to be crystal clear, does not accuse the national team of anything and where an investigation is a long way from proof. And this is the same FIFA whose own president couldn't stop himself admitting he was nervous about Argentina losing. When an institution behaves like that for weeks on end, it forfeits the benefit of the doubt on everything. And every 50-50 that falls Argentina's way gets instantly filed under, well, obviously. Even the petition organizers put it bluntly, insisting the winner has already been decided. They don't need proof. FIFA has spent the whole summer teaching them not to ask for any. And then there's the simplest explanation of all, the one that gets lost in the noise. Dominant teams are always hated. It's the champion effect, and it's as old as sport itself. Win enough, and neutrals start rooting for anyone but you. Argentina, with bitter rivalries stretching from Brazil to England to half of Latin America, and with the most scrutinized player who has ever lived wearing the armband, was always going to be the lightning rod. Every close call involving Messi gets replayed 10 million times precisely because it's Messi. And there's an extra layer to it. A huge chunk of the world still watches everything Argentina does through the Messi versus Ronaldo lens. And with Ronaldo's Portugal already dumped out, some fans have convinced themselves FIFA is quietly ushering Messi toward one last crowning achievement to settle the greatest of all-time debate once and for all. Add in Argentina's clashes with Brazil, Uruguay, Chile, Colombia, and Mexico, decades of regional blood feuds, and every single one of those fan bases has its own reason to pile on. Argentina against the world isn't just a meme. For this team, it's basically the job description. Here's the truth that both the conspiracy crowd and the die-hard defenders keep missing, though. Argentina are genuinely, ruthlessly brilliant. This is a 4-year project with unshakable chemistry and ice in its veins. A team that just beat England in a semi-final through 2 moments of pure Messi magic, not a phantom whistle. Even the analysts urging caution about the conspiracy talk point to the boring truth of it. This is a settled group that has run the same process for years, built on a winning mentality drilled into Argentine players from childhood. And that, far more than any imagined help, is what wins knockout games. You are allowed to believe they've had the rub of the green all tournament, and that they are a completely worthy finalist. Both things can be true at once. The real tragedy is that FIFA has made it almost impossible to just sit back and enjoy what should be a beautiful thing, the last dance of the greatest player of all time, because it has poisoned its own well so thoroughly that even a spotless win now arrives with an asterisk stamped across it in millions of minds. So on Sunday, Messi and Argentina walk out against Spain for the biggest prize in the sport, and they'll do it under a cloud that no result can fully burn away. If they win, half the planet will insist it was written in advance. And if they lose to a magnificent Spain side, well, that's the one outcome that quietly detonates the entire conspiracy. Because you cannot rig a final you don't win. Whether Argentina turn out to be football's luckiest team, or simply its most resented champions, the argument swirling around them has become every bit as big as the football itself. And the maddening part, the part FIFA will never admit, is that they built every last decibel of it themselves. Where do you land on all of this? Genuine favoritism? Or just the world ganging up on the champions? Throw your verdict in the comments and make sure you're back for Sunday, because that final is going to be watched more closely than any match in years.